One of the most easiest thing when it comes to trading right now is actually getting access to capital. Why? Because there are a lot of companies out there that are willing to give you real cash for you to actually trade for them. But then before you could get to this stage, there are some challenges that you need to take, which is known as the prop firm challenges we have to pass before we get funded. However, as much as these prop firms have a lot of easy challenges for you to actually pass in order to get funded, at times it could be difficult actually getting funded with these prop firms if you don't have a proven system to actually pass them. That's why in this video, I'm personally going to share with you a 5-step blueprint that you should follow if you actually want to pass a prop firm challenge. Like, before I'm making this video for you right now, I personally used to trade a real account before I moved into prop firm trading. Now, when I got into prop firm trading, I blew 2 to 3 prop firm accounts. Yes, I'll be honest with you, I blew 2 to 3 prop firm accounts before I was able to have a successful ride with prop firm. And as we speak right now, I'm also trading with 2 prop firms that I'm almost done with their challenges again as well. So this one, I'm not blowing them, but I'm almost done with the task itself. That's why I'm going to share with you this 5-step blueprint that you can also implement to actually help build up your prop firm portfolio as well. So let's get straight into today's video. Now, when it comes to passing a prop firm challenge, the first thing you need as a trader is simply a trading system that is proven to work. Now, what do I mean by a proven system? Now, a lot of you guys started with trading by simply coming over to YouTube here, watching random tutorial videos about trading strategies. What I mean by random is not because these trading strategy videos are not detailed. They are detailed, but you simply, today you learn this strategy, tomorrow you learn this other strategy, next tomorrow you learn the following strategy, and you keep learning new strategies every day. And this one will actually prevent you from actually having a proven edge when it comes to the market. So if you really want to pass a prop firm challenge, the first thing I advise to do is that what? Build a trading strategy, backtest it over and over again, let it have its own risk management techniques, everything, your risk to reward, everything well locked in, and tested over and over again before you start using it to trade a prop firm account. Because I have seen some of you buy prop firm just hoping to pass it with other people's signal, and that is one of the biggest errors you can ever do, as a lot of prop firms are even monitoring each other's trade to see if multiple people are placing the same kind of trade. So now, when it comes to passing your prop firm challenge, the first thing you need to do is build a trading strategy or a trading system. Now, the reason I'm not using the word strategy and using the word system is simply because strategy is a sub topic on that system, because when it comes to your trading system, you have your strategy, you have your risk management technique, and then you also have your risk to reward target and all of that. So now, when it comes to learning a trading strategy, it's very easy nowadays. If you don't have money to pay for a mentorship, you can simply learn on YouTube here. Like, basically on YouTube here, I've shared every single thing you need to actually trade the same strategy I'm trading, which is known as a liquidity supply and demand technique. It's more of a smart money concept with a little touch of, it's just basically supply and demand in a simple term. Yeah, basically supply and demand that I'm trading, and I've created a lot of videos about it, and I'll be tagging that playlist right under this video description. Go watch that video and then get to learn about the strategy, backtest it over and over again, customize it to fit your personality before you start trading with it. And then also trade it in a demo account to get your own experience of it as well, because we are 2 different people. The way I handle things is different from the way you handle things. That's why I say that you learn some decent strategies on YouTube, but still they don't work for you, probably because you don't have the right knowledge to actually back them up. So now that is simply the first step here. Simply build a trading system which consists of a strategy and a risk management technique that is well tested over and over again to keep you on a safe edge. Now, the second tip here is simply create your own trading rules. Now, what I mean by creating your own trading rules is that a lot of you, when you are trading prop firms, you come over to YouTube here and try to see, just as you are watching this video right now, to see how I'm personally doing with my own prop firm challenges. You also come over here, learn the same things I'm using, and I try to implement it, but ended up not working for you and all of that. Now, the main thing here is that it's not that that system you learned from that particular creator isn't working. It's simply because you are trying to fit yourself into someone else's personality. Like for me now, when it comes to trading prop firms, my personal rules is simple. If I buy a prop firm challenge, the first thing I do is that the maximum loss that I'm giving, which is the usual 10% loss that prop firms like Blueberry offer, because I'm trading with Blueberry, like all those things, what I'll simply do is that if I have a 25k prop firm account, which means that my 10% drawdown is simply $2,500. Now what I do with this $2,500 is that I mainly split it into 10 places. Yes, you heard me right. I mainly split it into 10 places. What I'm doing with this 10 splits is that what? Per every single trade, I'm risking a percentage of that one. So meaning the 10%, $2,500 that I'm giving, I've splitted it into 10 places. Meaning per every single trade I take, I can risk up to $250. Now, why did I split it into 10 places? The reason is simple. There is no way I'm going to lose more than 10 trades in a row. It's never possible. It has never happened before. Even when I was backtesting my strategy, it never happened. So basically when I get a prop firm, that's what I do. Now with my first prop firm that I got, I wasn't doing these same systems. What I was basically doing is that I was basically trading like though I was trading my real account, forgetting the fact that these prop firms have their own rules and all of that. So now the main reason why I split my target, my initial stop loss into that 10 places is simply because once I have it splitted in 10 like this, and my risk to reward is usually 1:3 minimum. So when I'm taking trade, each of my risks are 1:3, 1:3. So per any single trade I'm taking, no matter how big or how small my stop loss position is, I'm sticking to that $250. I'm not going above it. Highest I can do is I can go lower. I can maybe use $100, $150, $200. But no matter what I do, I'm not going to risk more than $250 for a single trade. Now this one actually helped me go up on my profit. Now basically what I do is that once I go up on my profit, now one big mistake a lot of you do is that once you go up on your profit target, you also adjust your risks to actually match it as well. Now this way you can get yourself keyed when it comes to trading prop firms. Now when you have a risk to reward and then a risk level target that you set while starting out that prop firm challenge, make sure not to over adjust it when your account grows. Because one of the most discouraging things when it comes to trading prop firm is that, for example, my profit target is $2,500 and then I'm up $1,000. Now then I get to adjust my risks. Maybe now I'm over leveraging. Then I ended up losing that $1,000 that I was up earlier, then going back to break even again. Now this is the most discouraging thing when it comes to prop firm trading. It's simply going up and then coming back down to zero again. So if you are trading prop firm out there, I'm advising you that if you are using a system whereby you are up in profit, don't over adjust your losses, don't over leverage in order to maybe trying to pass your prop firm faster. No, stick to your original plan until you pass the full challenge. Now the reason of this is basically simple. By the time you lose that profit that you've made up front and then go back to break even, like you're starting your challenge as like from scratch again, then you will know how painful it is for this to actually happen to you. So that is basically it. Now I'm not advising you to use my rule of splitting into 10 places. No, I'm not advising you to do this. Get yourself something that you can handle by your personality, like something you can handle yourself. Go with it. So because I always advise you that set your own rules, play by your own rules when it comes to the industry, because you have your own life, I have my own life. The way I'm good at taking risks might not be the way you are good at taking risks, and the way you are good at doing things might not be the way I also choose to do them as well. Now this simply is about the point number 2, simply create your own rules whilst coming to trade the prop firm. Now the point number 3 is simply only take clear setups. Now this is one of the big mistakes a lot of we traders find when it comes to trading. When we come over to trading, we want to take every single setup we see, like we want to force position into every single market. Now I will advise you with the last, like this is one of the best things you can do for yourself as a trader, is simply taking only clear setups. Like if you take a clear setup and it fails, no problem. But then the most painful thing for a trader is to actually take a trade that is outside his setup criteria and then that particular setup fails. Like this is one of the most painful things. I don't know if you've experienced it before, but for those who've experienced it, they know what I'm saying. Like when I take a trade and then the trade losses, I don't really feel it that much. Why? Because I took the trade because it followed my trading strategy. But in cases whereby I took a trade outside my trading strategy and it fails, even if I'm losing just $100 or just a 20 or just $50, like it pains me. Like one of the most painful things I ever go through. But when I follow my strategy and then I lose that $250 that I'm using as stop loss, I don't bother myself because I followed my rules. The most important things in trading is simply sticking to your trading strategy principles. Now this is one thing I'm also advising you to do when you come to trading either a real account or a prop firm, is simply never go against your setup criteria. If the market doesn't suit into your setup criteria, leave it and move on to a different market. If you don't see a setup, leave it and let it be. Like when I was is in the month of October, I took only 2 arbitrary trades in the whole of October, and I only gave you guys one on Telegram if I'm not mistaken, and that one was a sweeper. Now in November, I did not give you guys any setup until November, was it November 10th, 14th or 15th, that I gave the setup on GBP card that also went very sweet and juicy for those of you who took the trade. Now, if you followed all these things and the way I trade, you realize that I trade with the most level of patience and comfort. So when I take a trade, I don't worry myself because every single trade I take, I know that I'm taking it because it matches with my trading criteria. So whether it goes wrong or it goes right, I don't really give a fuck. So you too, I'm advising you to do this as well as a trader. Simply only take trade that plays according to your setup if you really want to pass your prop firm challenge. Now, the point number 4 here is simply forget the target that you are supposed to reach in order to pass that prop firm. Now, I know you are saying, if I forget the target, then what am I doing with the firm? How am I going to pass it? This and that. Well, you are definitely going to pass the prop firm the easiest way if you are able to forget the initial target you've been asked to hit. So now what I basically mean is that when you have a target to achieve, you trade with a lot of aggression. Like, your mind will not be at rest until you are able to hit that particular target. Now, this is one of the biggest mistakes you can ever do for yourself as a trader out there. Don't let the 10% or 8% that the prop firm actually asks you to hit limit you to whatever thing you are doing. Have it in your mind that what you know that for you to pass this firm, you have to make this so amount of money. Keep that aside. The thing you should follow is simply just be taking your trade according to your trading strategy, your risk management approach, and everything. By the time you pass the prop firm, when you hit the profit target, the prop firm itself knows that you've hit the target and then you pass it. But when you have this target in mind that, oh God, I need to make this 10% to pass the phase 1 and then make 5% to pass the phase 2, making it 15% in total. Like, oh God, how am I going to do this? How am I? Like, when you are being worried about this particular target, bro, sis, the chances of you passing that firm is very tiny. So don't let the profit target weigh you down or something. Just take your time, slowly, trade it gradually. With time, you know that you pass without even noticing that you've actually passed the challenge, because most of the prop firms, they are equity based. Most of the prop firms recently will close your profit target at equity based. What it simply means is that if your live trade run to the profit target that is required, they will just check it for you that you've passed that challenge and then move you to the next phase. So now this is simply about the point number 4 that I have for you here is simply don't let the profit target that the firm has set actually discourage you, because there's no time limit. If you are trading a firm with time limit, then you are doing yourself. Personally, for all the firms I trade, like I'm trading my Forex my funded capital, and then Blueberry. Now, none of these prop firms actually give me a particular target to hit. And personally, if you ask me to pick between two of them, I'm going for Blueberry, because my funded capital seems to have very huge charges, and then their slippage is also kind of atrocious. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I promoted them on this channel, but I'll still be honest with you because I'm trading them and I'm seeing that flaw. Well, the only flaw they have so far, from my point of view, simply because they have high slippages, so I don't really like them that much. But Blueberry has a very decent way of trading, and everything seems cool with them so far. So that's basically it about the point number 4 I have for you here. Simply, don't let the profit target you have to hit discourage you. So when you are buying a prop firm, don't buy a prop firm that gives you a time limit to pass it, but buy a prop firm that actually gives you infinite date. Like, anytime you want to pass a challenge, just pass it. Just pass it anytime you want. But go for such prop firms so that you'll be able to trade with the highest level of patience. Like, the best traders who make the most money out there, they are not. It's not because they have the best strategy. It's not because they win always. It's simply because they have high level of patience. Now, if I should show you my Blueberry funded this thing right now, I only have about, is it 60%, abi 50-something% win rate. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. With the trade I've taken on Blueberry so far, because I lost my first trade. Was it a 2? I lost 2. Yeah, I lost 2 trades in a row, and I had one break even before I finally was able to come up back and then go about 60% up on my challenge target. Now, basically, what happened is that nothing happened. I followed my trading strategies, and then I went down. But still, I wasn't letting anything discourage me, so I was still going gradually, and now I'm way up on the Prop Firm challenge as well. The most important thing when it comes to being profitable at trading is being able to be patient with yourself, trade with the highest level of comfort, and then just live your life. The main reason why you are trading is because you want to have peace of mind. You don't want to work 9 to 5 and there's someone controlling your whole life. So why stress yourself when you are trading? Give trading the best peace ever that you can actually afford, and then enjoy trading. So personally for me, I'm not here to come and tell you that I have a strategy that is giving me 90% or 100% win rate. I'm basically battling between 80% and then 60% across all my firms, and I'm happy that all the Prop firms I trade show me my win rate. I'm battling between 80% and then 60% win rates, and that's between the range I am. But I'm up on my challenges. That's basically the most important thing. It's simply because I have a good win rate, a good risk to reward over a win rate. Now, this is simply about the point number 4. I've said a lot here. Let's move over to the point number 5 before I forget that I'm here to actually give you some blueprints to follow. Now, the point number 5 is simply journal every single trade that you've taken. Now, what do I mean by journal every single trade that you've taken? When it comes to trading, the only way you can grow is simply when you know your mistakes. Now, how did I know the mistake I was making with the first 2-3 Prop firms that I blew before I was able to trade firms steadily like I'm trading now? Now, the only way I was able to identify my errors was because any trade I take, I journal every single thing down. What did I do? Did I follow my trade setup? What was my target? Did I over leverage? Now, all these things that I journal down in my trading journal, they are not useless. Like, I go through my trade journal every week before I start trading. Like, after I trade from Monday to Friday, I will document all my trade that I took from Monday to Friday. I will make sure that I document all of them on Saturday or Friday evening when I'm done trading, or Saturday morning. I'll make sure I document all of them, because I don't delete my setups from my chart. No, I don't delete it until the week ends. I maintain all of them. So that's why I say that when I'm doing my tutorials, the chart I use is different from when I'm doing my live stream, is because I have two trading view accounts. One is for my trading tutorials, and then one is for my personal trading, because I don't like clearing off my chart until the end of the trading week, because once I do a setup today, if the setup doesn't get triggered, I don't want to do any other setup on that market till a particular condition has been met. So now, with that aside, when it comes to trading, journaling your trade is very important, and I advise you to put a lot of effort into it as well. And when journaling your trade, make sure you take note of every single detail that push you to take that trade, or whatever thing that led you to get out of that market. Like, one thing I noticed at first was that the main reason why I was having a lot of losses is simply because I was holding a lot of trade into high impact news. So recently what I do is that I no longer hold trade into high impact news. Like, once I take a trade and I see that high impact news is coming, I just close off. Like, I'll just get off the trade. I don't care how much I'm into profit. I don't care the possible outcome of that news. I just get out, because I've had a lot of trade over the years and see that my trade will be going well, then during the high impact news, and then it will reverse. Now, there are some cases whereby it also favors me as well, but one thing I notice is that the chances of it favoring me are way below 30%, so there's no need risking it. So if I'm in a trade and I made my profit target set about closing that trade at a $200 or a $400 profit target, once I'm in about even $50, $30, $100, and then I see that we are 10 minutes into a high impact news, I'll just get off the market. And this is very simple and straightforward. Now, this is basically every single thing I have to share with you in this video when it comes to passing your Prof M challenge. And I advise you take all of them seriously while trading your Prof M. Now, don't take them exactly how I've given them to you. Take them, write each of the points down, and then try to modify them to fix your personality. Like, take every single point that I've given to you, but don't take the rules that I set for myself. The rules I set for myself are based on a lot of things that has to do with my personality, including how I was brought up, how I'm good at risk taking, my business mindset, and all of that. And we are two different people. So I might be good at taking high level risk, and you might not be good at it. So basically, stick to what will work for you. Just take each of these 5 points and then adjust them, adjust the rules that they contain to fit your personality. So this already said. Hope you find this video helpful, helping do the YouTube business. Smash on that subscribe button, like this video, and tell me what you feel down in the comment section as well. So have a lovely day. Bye.